The Atlanta Falcons currently hold 5 selections within the first 4 rounds of the 2023 NFL Draft. Do they have their quarterback in Desmond Ritter? It's yet to be seen. Small sample size last year. I think you saw some flashes, you saw some lows, kind of what you'd expect from Desmond Ritter being where that he was drafted, being the time that he was given in Atlanta, the supporting cast. I think he probably got what you expected last year. Is he going to be given an extended look in 2023? Not really talked about as a landing spot for a lot of quarterbacks in terms of the draft. Now, if Lamar Jackson were to go there, I think that would be one of the top landing spots for him for sure. But you look around that roster, guard, tackle, edge help. They've needed edge help for a long time. Probably a corner, maybe defensive tackle, some interior help to go along with Grady Jarrett. Let's address some of these needs. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Zachary Smith. If you could do me a favor, be sure to subscribe, leave me a like, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single piece of content I'm putting out. And of course, leave me a comment. Let me know how you feel about this mock draft, how you feel about past mock drafts, what you want to see on the channel going forward. Kind of going to be a miscellaneous channel to not be like Pittsburgh sports stuff like I'm doing with my Around the 412 channel. So without further ado, I will share my screen and we will dive into it. 5 picks within the first 4 rounds, like I said, and starting out with the number 8 overall selection as it currently stands. Ooh, Christian Gonzalez at 3. Now we have a decision. Also, to go along with the exercise, if you guys are watching this for the first time, haven't seen any of the previous ones, no trades. We're just going to be sticking and picking, no movement. Too hard to predict for these things. So for sake of the exercise and staying consistent, we're using Pro Football Network's draft simulator for all of them, and we are sticking and picking with every single selection. Now, this is an interesting one, and Jalen Carter would not be here right now if there wasn't some uncertainty surrounding the situation that obviously occurred last week with him leaving the combine due to an arrest, stemming from that tragic situation that happened at Georgia last year. So a lot of answers hopefully coming out in the near future. I've already taken Jalen Carter in 2 past mock drafts. Would I do it a third time? I mean, especially like Atlanta, they probably know as much about Jalen Carter as any other NFL team. So let's him stay in state, which can be a good or bad thing depending on how you look at it. Keeping a lot of the same company if there really are some concerns there. But this is tough. I think it's so hard to predict how this is all going to play out, right? And I know Falcons fans are probably going to look at this and be like, are you kidding me? You're going to pass on Jalen Carter for us when he fell to 8. I don't want to predict who that team is going to be that takes him if there really is something there where he's going to slide. So to me, I'm actually going to go down here a little bit. I know Myles Murphy is listed ahead of him here. I think the NFL is going to like Tyree Wilson and his athletic traits more. And I think he's going in the top 10, and he hasn't gone yet. So I'm going to take him here at 8 for Atlanta, who needs some edge help. Again, like the production at Texas Tech, not the greatest, but I think you're banking on traits here. I would say he's kind of like this year's Trayvon Walker. Obviously, he's not going as high, but despite the lack of production, you are banking on the athleticism, the freak traits that he has to offer, and really hoping that an NFL team, when you get him into that coaching system, into that weight program, like that really brings out the most of him and what Tyree Wilson's ceiling is. So I like this pick for Atlanta. And Myles Murphy goes at 10. Still on the board. Who's going to be the team that takes Jalen Carter in this? This is crazy. Like the fact that this simulator is recognizing that there could be a slide here. There he goes to the Chargers. They need a defensive tackle as much as anybody. I mean, fantastic value for them. I didn't want to be that team. And again, maybe it's because of my draft fatigue with doing these and like, man, I've already taken him 2 different times in mock drafts that I've done for these teams. All right, so I'm looking offensive line here, I think. Don't get me wrong, Atlanta certainly could use another weapon. I think Jalen Hyatt, to stretch the field would certainly be on the board. That would be a nice pairing with Drake London and Kyle Pitts. But Osiris Torrance is still here. I think he's a first round guard and he's fallen here. Anton Harrison is one of the, like everybody talks about the top of the tackle class being a top 3. I really think it's a top 4. I think Anton Harrison's that good. There was like the weird thing with the arm length that came out that people were that got like misinformation was put out there that they were 3 inches shorter than they really were. Anton Harrison's fine. Like you watch the tape, you know he's going to be able to stick at tackle. Some people are like, oh, if that's really his arm length, he's going to be playing guard, probably going the 3rd round. To me, Anton Harrison is a guy that you can trust to put out there and play tackle on the perimeter right away, and win his one-on-ones. So could be losing Caleb McGarry. The guard play wasn't good. I think you make a case for either one of these, but I'm going more premium position here. Anton Harrison is going to be the pick. To me, a guy that, I think could go anywhere from mid-round 1 to about this range. I think he definitely goes top 50. Like, I'll be absolutely shocked if he doesn't go top 50. But I like the fit for Arthur Smith in that offense. Really good player, in my opinion. Blake Freeland would have been a guy, too. Absolutely blew up the combine. Had a really nice day. I think he made himself a good bit of money with the combine performance that he had. Not that means everything, but there are definitely going to be guys that raise their stock through that process. You know what else could have happened in round 1? I wonder where he ended up going. Just to touch on this. Where'd he go? Nolan Smith. With the combine he had, he showed he was healthy. He obviously was dealing with that injury last season at Georgia, but he absolutely blew up the combine too. And if he's healthy, we know the pedigree that's there. We know the player that he's capable of being. I don't think that he's around on day 2, but in this scenario, he fell there. I think, like I said, I could have taken him at 8 and made the case for him kind of showing what he was. And no one really should have been questioning, when healthy, the type of player that he is. So we got edge, we got offensive tackle. Let's go to the interior here. Again, a guy Pro Football Network's ranking of this guy is much lower than a lot of other sites. People see this guy as a first rounder. He just broke the record for defensive tackle 40 times. Kalijah Cansey, pick guy, so I'm personally very familiar with his game. Not saying he's Aaron Donald, absolutely not, but he's that, undersized defensive tackle who really wins with his athleticism. Really good pass rush move. Great at getting off the blocks, great hand usage, violent. I really like the player, and I don't think that he's around at this point, but say that he is, Atlanta certainly needs somebody to go next to Grady Jarrett, as I've mentioned before, so I love that fit. Man, we're just checking boxes here. I know we didn't get a defensive back yet for them. They need a corner. I really like this class. I think there's guys up and down the board that you can get. Actually have my eyes on one right now that's a little bit further down the board. Okay, and we're on the board here. Do I do it here, or could he fall to the next spot that we have? Oh, we pick again in 3 picks, so it's got to be one of these regardless. So really, it's just a matter of what order do we want to do this in? I'm going to go with Garrett Williams out of Syracuse, who, if you were just going based off like the 2020, 2021 stuff, Garrett Williams, it wouldn't have surprised you to say he's one of the top 3 corners in this class. Obviously, 2022, his stock has since dropped from that. But I think if you look at the pedigree, the type of player that he can be, it's worth a swing at this point for Atlanta, he's going to need some long-term answers across from AJ Terrell there. Obviously, Casey Hayward, not a long-term solution or anything like that on the opposite side. So to me, get Garrett Williams in the room, learn from guys that have been there, done that, really good players, and see what you got in him, because I think that this is a guy that long-term, this pick could really pay off for Atlanta. Again, we're not doing this. Where do I want to go with this one? Because I feel like we've checked the boxes here that we would have liked to have checked. Such a shame with Andrew Voorhees. I think he could potentially have made sense, and I'm not saying I wouldn't, but obviously, he's not going to be playing right away. Tommy would potentially make sense whether you want to use him as center or guard. I think the case is certainly there. You could double dip on an edge. This is a great edge class. I mean, Edibaware even, he's not, to me, a typical edge. This is where we're going, actually. This is the best player on the board, in my opinion. More of a, 3-tech, 5-tech. They're going to list him as an edge. Keanu Benton, if you really wanted like that traditional defensive tackle, could have made sense too. Adibaware, fantastic player, in my opinion, very much more than a 113th. I think I just got him at. You could talk me into him being like a top 25, top 30 player in this class, and we just got him there. So at that point, I think that the value is just too good to pass up. I might get some pushback for, addressing edge more than once, not getting interior offensive line help, not getting a weapon on offense. I mean, Atlanta has so many needs to me. Just get the best football players. Just get better on both sides of the football. And I think that's what we did here. Tyree Wilson, Anton Harrison, Kalijah Cansey, Garrett Williams, and Ade Adibaware. I think that's an insane haul for Atlanta, and they got better today through this mock draft. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you would have done things differently. I'll be very curious as to what you guys think, especially if you are some Atlanta Falcons fans. But either way, would love your input on this. If you're football fans in general, if you're draft nuts like me, who absolutely love this time of year, let me know what you think about too. And we will have next on the ledger the Carolina Panthers. That should be very fun with the number 9 overall selection. And they have about 6 picks in the first 4 rounds. So there we go. Even more draft capital than this one. Same division too. So we'll be back with the Carolina Panthers in the next one. But thanks for checking this out. Again, subscribe to the channel, leave me a like, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.